All right. Welcome back to the Different Spectrums podcast. If you haven't listened to our show before, we have conversations around mental health and we dabble in humor. Just like that. We're also trying to help people understand, identify, and normalize their emotions from movies and shows, specifically certain scenes. You probably already watched these movies or shows, but we're going to use a different perspective, and one could say a different spectrum. All right. And with that, I am your co-host for the show, Spencer. Yes, namaste.
Spencer Sign.
You know, probably not going to cut that out. Nope. And of course, we are joined today with our licensed clinical therapist, our friend, our brother, Nazir.
The good guy, the bad guy, your lover.
You're not my lover. Thank God. Thank God for that. Oh, God. The hairballs that your lover has to go through just to get there. Good?
Good.
All right. Today we're actually going to be taking a look at a scene from The Grinch. Yes. 2000, I think, 3. I want to say 2003. It's with Jim Carrey. He's hairy, you know it. Yeah, so we're actually going to be doing a long line of Christmas holiday movies.
Specials.
Yeah, we'll say that, even though it's The Grinch Stole Christmas, not The Grinch Stole the Holidays. You know what I'm saying?
He stole the holidays.
He stole. You haven't seen The Grinch? Classic Christmas movie about a green fellow who steals presents from the Who's of Whoville. I love this iteration of The Grinch, directed by Ron Howard. Nonetheless, great director. And in this scene, he's actually taking some time to contemplate, and you know, he's showing that being by yourself is a little bit tougher than you want it to be.
Okay.
Yeah. And with that, Nazir, anything before we get into the clip?
Yeah, no, like I said, I haven't seen it in a while. So we're gonna check it out. I'm kind of running in it blind like y'all, but it's fine. I think real good on the fly, on a zip fly on a Saturday night. It's definitely a Tuesday.
We don't know what day it is.
Nope. And much appreciation to everyone on Instagram. Like I said, the goal is 7,000 by January. We're definitely gonna surpass that astronomically, probably by next week. So just keep subscribing, keep sharing. On Instagram right now, we're getting to all the Lion King stuff. And then we'll get into Star Wars, then holiday season. I feel like that's a Gucci Man reference. Holiday season.
Could be.
I think it is. It's a lot of his remixes. All right, let's get into the clip. Let's check it out and see what we got. Also, I got a new Rudolph toy from TJ Maxx.
Yes. It sings. Yeah.
It's very annoying.
It's great.
First floor, factory rejects. Those Who's are hard to frazzle, Max. But we did our worst, and that's all that matters. At least I scared the bejeebers out of that little girl at the post office. She'll be scarred for life if we're lucky.
Funny she didn't rat on us, though. Must be afraid of reprisals.
Yes! Down a size and a half! And this time, I'll keep it all. Get the stick, Max. Get the stick. There's no stick. I'm smarter. Any calls?
You have no messages.
Odd. Better check the outgoing. If you utter so much as one syllable, I'll hunt you down and gut you like a fish. If you'd like to fax me, press the star key. Oh, well. That's more like it. Excellent beer. I'll tell you, Max, I don't know why I ever leave this place. I've got all the company I need right here. Hello! Hello! How are you? How are you? How are you? I asked you first. Oh, that's really mature, saying exactly what I said. I'm an idiot. You're an idiot.
All right, fine. I'm not talking to you anymore. In fact, I'm going to whisper so that by the time my voice reverberates off the walls and gets back to me, I won't be able to hear it.
You're an idiot.
Welcome back.
We back
Yep.
and we're live.
Why do I even talk? I don't know. I don't know why I say things. Don't get it. So we're back from the scene. Yeah. I pretty much chose this clip because A, we're doing a lot more holiday things. And then B, because not only is it like one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies, but it's one of my favorite like Christmas movies. It's really up there. I love watching it when it starts getting cold and snow starts coming down. Yeah. Getting very sensual with my voice for no reason. And then also we see in the scene that the Grinch is all by himself. He's isolated himself from all the other Who's, but we've learned because they didn't really accept who he was. And so when he's a kid, he climbs up a big mountain and just starts a whole new life by himself, just being the Grinch, doing everything the opposite the Who's are, which is, buying presents, loving Christmas and all that type of stuff, being, joyful for a lot of things. Yeah, I think it's a great scene to show how even though a lot of people who want to isolate themselves, it's nice to do in a certain quantity. You don't want to do it too much because then you get like that and you're just by yourself and you're an idiot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone that watches this, listens to the podcast, is like just by themselves chilling, and he's like, "You're an idiot."
You're an idiot.
You good?
Yeah.
Before I forget, the part where he jumps into the bed and like he springs off of it. So I think I used to do that like in here and there, but I never really could jump because I've always been a big boy, and I've broken a few beds. And frames. So now like my sturdy frame and memory foam is like on the floor where I like to keep it. That way it's just solid.
Nice.
And like legit, I can't really jump into it because it's memory foam. So if you jump onto that, you're just gonna belly flop on it, and you're literally gonna crack your spine.
Yeah.
But I do go into that feeling of getting into your bed. It's probably one of the better feelings that you'll ever have, especially after like a road trip or like just being out doing on the road. vacation, especially after vacation, or just coming back home from work and then you lay down in the bed and your spine just kind of like unshackles from the depression.
Yeah. Mm.
Spencer's like,
Unshackles. Like, Jesus.
do we need to talk about something?
Why is your spine unshackling so much?
Yeah, well, the depression.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I thought about. I was like, look at this. And then you're watching, and you're like, this dude's freaking bananas.
Yeah. But you also have to know he's been in a mountain almost of his life.
So that was my thing is, yeah, he's kind of, some folks can do isolation, extreme isolation, and be completely cool and fine. Most individuals, even neurodivergent folks, want some type of socialization. It's the fear and social anxiety that when they get it, people will judge them, and thus they don't like socializing because it's too fearful. It's kind of like Colin. Like, he wants to like be social, and then he's like, fuck that. We got the Grinch. Now, let's say he's sitting in there. He's like full on mental health crisis, like schizophrenic, talking about like, hello. And he starts talking to himself. I ain't gonna lie. During COVID, there might have been some conversations like that.
Right.
Because you're just in the house. I think I was in that. We might have left like once every 2 weeks to get groceries. So right, it's pretty isolating. I think when I was in undergraduate school, I lived by myself for a while in an apartment, and then that was super isolating. That stuff can drive you mad, especially if you're a social creature.
Right.
And obviously he was rejected, and so he's got traumas on why he isolated. And so right then again, it's not that he fully wants to be alone, but he does enjoy being alone now. There's a lot of different complex things to the character and to the scene. I think it's cool him having fun by himself and doing things, so we could talk about hobbies.
Right.
Things that make you have fun, watching TV, shows, doing pods, drawing, knitting. I don't care what it is. Working on cars, whatever it is. Solving Rubik's Cubes, whatever the hell you want to do. Do it, have a blast doing it. Keep yourself busy.
Right.
Are you keeping yourself busy, or are you just distracting from the social anxieties that you have? So that's where some of my brain was going. We also think about Grinch is pushing everyone away because also he's just super terrified of letting people in and that they're going to judge him and shame him again.
Right.
I don't remember the show at all. I mean, I feel like he ends up turning good at the end. He turns good at the end, right?
He does. But yeah, something about a little bit. He actually does go out and he dresses up. He puts on like a stupid Who mask and then he goes through the town just like wrecking havoc on people.
I know he gets bad and then real bad and then it gets better, I think.
Yes, he does.
So the scene, we could talk about social isolation and how that's good in some facets, and then also, like you said, not good to some extents, not to the extreme. Even if that is your thing, it could lead to a lot of different mental health issues. It's intense. Humans are social, community-based creatures.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why there's such high rates of depression these days. Well, there's a million different reasons why motherfuckers are depressed these days.
Right.
And stressed. So that'll take a whole semester. But one of it is that we're so segregated. I was talking to some humans the last few days, then I'll pass it back to you. Story time. They're getting ready to graduate. And they're thinking about the future and the jobs and the money and the apartments, right? And it's a lot. It's a lot to think about when you graduate. You've been through it. I've been through it.
Yeah.
And then, they said they were not doing these social engagements. They're just kind of just chilling and sleeping in and this and that. So that's fine. And I had a couple other humans in the past, I'm not hanging out too much, or you don't really think about what you're doing when you're hanging out with these people. And I remember back at St. Mary's, I also said the same thing. Is you have no idea. They just look at me like I'm stupid. I see you and your friends and you're having fun and just chilling in the library with like 10 of you around each other, just talking shit. As you get into the real world, that will not happen. You will be mostly around your coworkers for majority of the day. If you have a partner, you'll see them in the nighttime. Then that's kind of it. Your friends will be distanced in different places in the state or world. Your siblings will be in a different state or part of the world.
Right.
As we know, as young men, as we transition into older men, we don't reach out and make a lot of new friends. Women will, to a better extent, can get very isolating, very alone. So I told this student, I said, you better appreciate it. You better do these couple things and hang out with these people before you graduate.
Yeah.
Because lo and behold, some of my kids I mentor texted me. They're like, I don't want to do this life stuff anymore. I was like, Jesus. They said it's so depressing. You go to a job you don't like, and now what? You save a little bit of money and you can't really do the things that you really want to do because you're not a billionaire, so you can't create the change that you really wanted. And you're stuck between this job or going back to school and having no money. It's just a terrible place to be. And you're cut off from your friends. Why am I saying all this? For those folks that are still at university, still in the education, K through 12, be appreciative. I know most of the folks that listen to our pod are roughly in mine and Spence ages, that 25 to I think like 40 it says, 25 to 35. So y'all already kind of know this stuff. But it's a challenge to y'all. Think about some of the days when you was a little bit younger and how much you missed those moments, or if you had those moments with friends. And now who do you spend the most time with? It's probably your coworkers. As we know about athletes as well, high school and college, one of the biggest things that they miss is the camaraderie of their team. And not the whole team, because you'll hate half of them. But there's going to be a pocket of humans that you enjoy socializing with and chopping it up. Community is very important for most social creatures, most humans. There's a subsection that doesn't need it as much. And there's a subsection that doesn't need it at all. But most of us do. And so I think the film like this kind of talks about how you may think that you smooth and chilling. But also, if you're causing havoc, you're most likely getting attention. You're getting something out of it. You're still somewhat socializing. Something's going on. So that's what this made me all think about, is socializing, and then the conversations I've had now with my students that are getting ready to graduate with their PhDs or their undergrads.
Right.
All that makes sense, homie?
Yeah. Complete sense. Yeah.
What you vibing about?
I think I can definitely see myself like in the Grinch's shoes. I think a lot of people can too. Especially kind of that isolation. But for me personally, if I get too isolated, I do get like him, and I just get more like just agitated and things like that. Because I'm not vibing off anything. I'm just kind of in my own head, and I'm just either like I'm playing video games, or I'm just focusing on like, whatever, social media and stuff like that. And it just gets very,
disconnected.
Just disconnected. And also just, I'm not able to, laugh at certain things or anything like that. I'm just like stationary. I'm like a robot just going through things, right? And so I can definitely vibe off of like how the Grinch feels in that instance. But then also, once you come back down from the hill, it's nice to be down there, right? It's nice to be with like around people like you, Pops, Salim, Dom, and then some like my other friends and stuff like that. It's nice to do, because then I'm not in that lonely bubble all the time, and I'm not inside my head anymore. I'm trying to be more, I guess, like entertaining to others, which really helps, because then I start thinking about like, oh, okay, they said this, so I can say this and things like that. So I start thinking more when I'm not isolated.
The gears get to working.
Yeah. But at the same time, gotta have your like isolation time, because it does get to be a little bit too much when you're around a lot of people and things like that. Especially for me, it's like when people I don't know, I really don't like. I don't really like I don't like going near people that I don't really know, because then I don't know their vibe and what I can say and not say, and then that's a whole thing. And once I put like the block on to what I can't say, then I'm just gonna shut up, and then I feel like I'm isolated, but I'm with people.
I've seen you do it.
Yeah.
Yep, I seen you do it many a times. And man, that's super common for a lot of neurodivergent folk, man, is, around new folks are like, sus.
Right.
And thus we kind of take it slowly to not be judged or be outlandish, to not be disruptive, to not hurt anyone. Like, it's a bunch of different reasons on why a lot of us will dip a little toe in it.
Just a little bit. Be like, hey, I'm quirky. And they're like, ew. All right, now my toe goes.
Well, this shit was cold.
Taking that back.
Man, I talk to students about this all the time, man. We talked about it in the last pod.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Thanksgiving, technically we didn't. I re-recorded it. On the Rick and Morty one, where we were talking about people for Thanksgiving that just dropped this week, or for folks who sees this a couple weeks back, is, socialization in that house during Thanksgiving is a lot of noise, a lot of drama, a lot of chaos, cooking, smells, like it's a lot of shit. And so if you need to have a little evacuation plan, a safety plan, a buddy system, something to get out there and do your little walk, you're chilling, you're vibing, your tunes, do it. And so I got a lot of clients that go to work and they get overstimulated. They'll be with their partner, they might get overstimulated. So it's like, where can we buy these pockets of time throughout the day, throughout the week, where we can regulate? So my clients that are with someone, plus they got a grind in school, I'm like, okay, can we find time on Saturday morning, Sunday night, till it's just you, and you can just not have to worry about nothing. You can do your stimming behaviors. You can do unmask and just vibe. You can walk around your apartment butt, booty, baby back naked.
Wow. First time I heard that one.
Yep. Or you can just walk around in, normal clothes.
Maybe. Yeah. Just be butt ass naked.
Yeah.
Go
Shit
for it.
stains everywhere.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Plan to play.
I'm trying. It's been a fun day. Yeah. So making sure that everyone, since Spence talked about it, you don't have to be social all the time. And if you are getting overstimulated and burned out, go ahead, find those pockets throughout the week, schedule it, put it in there, stick to those boundaries and try not to break those. But then you have to force yourself to be social in those other times. So if friends invite you, go out. I usually say 1 out of every 3. If people invite you out 3 times and you don't go out at least once, the chances are they're going to stop inviting you. If you do it once every 3, well, now they're going to maybe, statistically, they're going to keep asking. But if you don't ever go out, they're never going to ask anymore. And so people feel disrespected. I'm going to feel stupid. So try to go out when you can. Be social when you want. Surround yourself with people that you can actually unmask with. And when you need time to shut it down, shut it down. Or if you're like me and you go to like these clubs or parties or bars, right? When I was in undergrad, not so much now. Shit, I'll just go outside. And I'll just sit out there vibing, even if it's freezing. I like the cold weather because it helps me like regulate better. And I'll just be sitting out there with a couple of the smokers and we'll just talk a little bit of shit and then we'll go back in. I do that quite often. I didn't really notice. I thought I just did that because it was hot. Turns out I was always just overstimulated. I'm like, yeah, I got to go somewhere. And people will be like, Nas, why you always take off? Because it's loud as shit in here.
I don't like anybody in here. So.
Well, I talk to the people smoking drunk as hell outside. It's the same people that's inside. It's just outside.
Yeah, way better.
Like, why not pay $25 to get in here and I'm standing outside talking to people for free?
You might as well just stand outside all night.
I know. I should have been a bodyguard at a pub, man.
Yeah, honestly, you would have been like, oh, nice. You've been the friendly bodyguard.
Yeah, just talking shit, man. That would have had a
Talking
blast.
shit.
I would be messing people with their IDs. Oh, shit. You going to jail now.
I know this thing. Just throw it.
Yeah. Just pull out a fucking knife and just start cutting.
Oh my God, knife? Why'd you do a knife?
The scissors are too cool. You just pull out like a butcher
okay.
knife. Yeah. You want to create fear. I feel like I'll get arrested.
Probably. I'm going to say yes on that. Yeah.
Yep. Another funny thing is this is why I always told people I like festivals, outside things more than like pubs and all those things too loud. The music's going. I can't use my mouth and talk. I want to talk to folks and be able to actually hear things. I don't enjoy like screaming at someone.
Right.
Can you hear the song?
It's a great song. I love it, John. Yes, I'm right here. Jesus.
It depends. Depends on how faded you are and if you're dancing and stuff, but different story for a different day.
Yeah, I would love to see you drunk and dancing.
Oh
That
my
would be
God.
the best thing ever.
If you want to see me and Colin have some fun, we will get on the dance floor and we'll be dancing. People will start joining us. It's quite funny.
See, this is what we should have been doing in Saginaw.
Oh
Dancing.
yeah, I wasn't about to get drunk there, so
I know, that would have been a little tough. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And I had homework. If I wouldn't have had homework, maybe. But yeah, man, that socialization's a thing. We talked about it before. I don't socialize much here, but I love talking to humans at the gym and making friends. But it's been kind of hit or miss. I've made some friends, but then I don't have time to continue those relationships because of the doctorate, work, the second job, now the pod. And so I get enough socialization through these mediums. But I've been in the Grinch's shoes. I feel like a lot of us have been in the Grinch's shoes with the trauma.
Right.
And just like, fuck it. I don't need people. We've talked about it a million times on the pod, specifically yesterday when we did all the Star Wars, Darth Vader, and Maul. You're sick of it and you need to take a break from it for a while. And I get that's okay for a while.
Yeah.
But this isn't like a lifelong thing where you never allow yourself to feel any really good vibes or feelings.
And all you have is a dog that you mess with. Go get the stick.
Oh,
There is no stick. I am smarter.
yeah, I was talking to a human today, man, and I feel like a lot of humans, when they got friends, maybe even lifetime friends, and they open up about mental health things. So this is a mental health thing the Grinch is going through. See, I just can't believe that my people, they don't, like men, we just don't check on each other. Like, man, you good? I mean, I don't know why women do it, but I know dudes, very rarely will we actually like break the stuff and be like, you good, bro? Shit, even known Colin for 17 years. I didn't know he was in a bad spot until his wife told me right a year or two ago. And I was like, bro, how you not going to tell me?
It's a pride thing. Oh,
Who
pride.
knows? I can't pry it all out of Colin now. He just, I don't know.
Well, I mean, he's also tough too. I mean, he's tough. He'd be like, how's your day? It's all right.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. The hardest I've seen him laugh in a while was, oh my God, I hope I edited that. I did. I said like a funny song or whatever. And then he started cracking up and you heard it, but you didn't hear it. I'm not going to repeat it, but he was rolling. He's like, Spence, did you hear that?
Yep. And like always, decided to ignore it.
Yep. Yeah. So very good thing to talk about. I think for therapists is making sure that you're checking in on the client's trauma and prior history before just diving in. Make sure that you understand the system that they grew up in and what led them to your office, instead of just maybe attacking them and be like, you're a piece of trash.
You're an idiot.
Yes. So let's not go right into judging and say they have a personality disorder. Let's have a little bit of empathy and actually use systems theory and figure out what has impacted them and brought them to you. It's not always, a lot of therapists or doctors want to go right into judging character. Let's put a pause. Let's acknowledge some stuff. Let's go a little bit back in the past and let's bring it back. Let's start building better habits for them so they can make those connections again. So therapists. Some of y'all trash too.
You know who you are, maybe.
They know who they are.
Yeah. You ain't shit. You're an idiot.
Like 10 different therapists that I know listen to this.
Yeah. Is he talking about me?
I did the fake heart attack thing in group therapy today. It was pretty fun. I can't remember why, but I just wanted to do it.
That's just your thing now, isn't it?
I just threw it in randomly. They're all like talking about their day. They're like, is he dead?
Like, it's happening.
Why is the
Call
fat guy rolling? Okay.
All right.
Any final words before we get out of here? Suggestions?
I I will say at the end of this scene, they didn't show it, but there's this. It's when he like breaks the bottle like on his chest and he starts eating it. And he's just like, "Am I eating because I'm bored?" And then he falls asleep in his chair.
Definitely been there.
Yeah,
Definitely. That's a fucking vibe.
right. You just fall asleep. You're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that's a day-long fight all the time. I'm just gonna go ahead and eat because I'm bored or eat because I'm anxious. I'm not. I don't even know why I eat now. I'm just eating.
You know what? I don't need it to sustain anything. I just want to do it.
Yep. It just feels natural.
Nom, nom, nom.
I don't even taste it anymore. Just the motion.
Oh my God. All right. With that,
I'm fine,
you,
people. I'm healthy. I'm not depressed.
thank you everybody for watching. Like I said before, in the beginning, we're doing a lot more holiday stuff. Christmas. And so it's Christmas. And so with that, please like, subscribe,
Holiday. Share.
comment.
All right, peeps. Rudolph coming up next. Elf. There's a couple other things I forgot, but we'll get to it. Boom!
Oh, just cut.